Before the game, Jason McManaman of Torrington was given the award for Mr. Wyoming Basketball 2012, which is considered the highest honor that a basketball player can receive. The Wyoming All-Stars versus Montana, this game being played in Sheridan. First quarter, Wyoming wearing the brown. Riley Ryan of Sheridan's going way downtown for the first 3 of his 9 points, and that would get his team on the board as they would take a 3-2 lead. The home team had plenty of weapons from all over the state, and they'd use them. Here's Chase Riley from Rock Springs with a running floater, and one. 10 points for him, and his team's up 8-5. The Tiger was warming up early on. Here comes the 3 from the corner, and he was burning the nets. The score was close, but Wyoming held an 11-9 advantage at this point. Now, for the most part, the scoring for the boys was balanced throughout the roster. Here's Tate Hilgenkamp of Laramie getting in on the act with his own 3-ball. That would break a tie, and the home team is leading once again. It's 14-11. Now, this highlight was a big moment because it's going to happen quickly. Cody Anderson of Gillette with a great assist to John Sounding Sides of Wyoming Indian. After the tragedy he went through a few days prior to this game, he needed that bucket, and the whole crowd was behind him. Wyoming up 16-13 after the first 10 minutes. Second quarter, we need to get Mr. Wyoming basketball into these highlights, but we needed some defense and transition to do it. They did their part, and he'll do his with a two-handed slam and the foul. 12 points for the Trailblazer, and hopefully UW fans will see some of that come next season. Home team leads 18-13. Let's see who else we can work in here. Let's try Taylor Milley of Glenrock. The herder will collect his own miss and stick the ball back in for 2 of his 4 points. Wyoming now with a 6-point cushion at 20-14. More defense. Montana thinks they have a close way to get to the hoop, but from behind comes Anderson. Not in my house, buddy. Take that game north of the border next time. But the opposition would start to make their move. Shikey Smalls of Great Falls comes up with the loose ball, and he's headed your way. Hoop and the hack. He scored 16, and the 3-point play gave his team the advantage, up 22-21. The home team would fight back. McManaman, 15-footer, drains it. Wyoming reclaims the lead with the scoreboard reading 23-22. The visitors would go back up, so the home team had to respond, which they did. Ryan's going to count to 3, and then he's going to move the ball. And now we have ourselves an even affair. The score is now tied at 26. Ties, though, are broken quite often. Tanner Hupka of Manhattan with a turnaround, Jay. He took a little spill afterwards, but he was fine and led all scores with 16. And Montana's back up 29-26. The home team was in a little bit of a hole, but they get out of it. Here's Timmy Benedict of Wright with a little rim roller. 4 points for the Panther, but his team is trailing 35-30. There was still more work to do, and guys like Sounding Sides was up to the challenge with a baseline drive on this highlight. The Chief contributed with 7 points, but the Wyoming All-Stars found themselves down 41-32 going into halftime. Third quarter, the opposition would make a bit of a move, some crafty ball movement, and Hupka would get the finish. He's heading to MSU Northern, and he has his team up 43-32. The home team kept fighting and would get someone else in the scoring act. This is Corey Peck of Natrona, 8 points for the Mustang, but the deficit's at 9. It's now 43-34. The defense had a hard time trying to stop Hupka. He kept mixing it up, which is usually hard to stop. There's a good-looking 12-footer to add to his total. Montana pushes the score up to 45-34. We need to get a little more defense to help stop the bleeding. Leave it up to Anderson. He's got the fly swatter, and that ball will not be flying anytime soon. Offensively, he chipped in with 4, but he did better on defense. The Northern neighbors, though, had more than Hupka to contend with. There was also Smalls, who was playing like a big man. The lead is growing to 16. It's now 55-39. And they'd start working on their long-range attack as well. This is Ryan Burke of Billings Central causing trouble from the corner. And the Wyoming All-Stars were in big trouble, trailing 62-43 going into the final 10 minutes. Fourth quarter, the home team needed some points in a hurry. McManaman will try to help out with a 3-ball, and that's good. But his team's still down 15. The score is 62-47. But one good long ball deserves another. Riley King of Missoula Sentinel will answer with 3 of his own. He scored in double digits with 10, and Montana was in good shape, up 65-47. The home state boys were trying a few new plays. Peck takes the assist, and that results in 2 more points. The big problem was free throw shooting. Wyoming shot less than 50% for the game, and that usually does not result in many W's. Now, some of the crowd was starting to wonder if Sounding Sides was going to hit a 3. After all, he had 17 of them in one game. There's one. That was all about honor, and there's nothing wrong with that. But his team is still down by 12. Sadly, it's time to wrap this up. We have one more player to show, and that's Hunter Reese of Sheridan. He'll announce his presence on this highlight with 2 of his 6 points. But as we mentioned, bad free throw shooting did in the Wyoming All-Stars as they would fall against Montana 80-69.